So I thought I'd just read a couple things. I'm obsessed with Ina Garten. I love her, so I just wrote about her, and I'm gonna just share that with you. I love everything about Ina Garten, the host of Food Network's show Barefoot Contessa. Her hair is always glossy and smooth and perfectly coiffed dark bobs. She wears a variation on the same shirt every day. I read the FAQs on her website to learn that her shirt is custom made, but she won't tell us the name of the designer. She is married to her husband Jeffrey, and he has a fondness for roast chicken. And if the show is any indication, their relationship is an enduring one. She is intelligent and wealthy and wears these traits comfortably but inoffensively. I love Ina Garten so much that one of my home's wireless networks is named Barefoot Contessa. It's like she's watching over me that way. Ina Garten makes cooking seem easy and accessible. She loves good ingredients, good vanilla, good olive oil, good everything. She is always offering helpful tips, like using very cold butter to make pastry dough, and a cook's best tools are clean hands. Remember that. She uses an ice cream scoop for the dough when she's making muffins and reminds the audience of this trick every single time with a conspiratorial grin. When she shops in town, she always asks the butcher or the baker or the fishmonger to put her purchases on her account. She does not sully herself with filthy money. There is an episode where she takes bagels and lox on a trip to Brooklyn to eat more food at a farmer's market. She took food to go get food. One day, she invites some construction workers who are rehabbing a windmill over for lunch, and she decorates the table with construction accessories, like a tarp and some paintbrushes and a bucket. As she prepares their meal, she makes sure to prepare man-sized portions. The meal is finished off by a brownie pie, which is a decadent affair for Contessa. Ina also loves rhetorical questions. She'll ask these questions while planning a surprise for one of her coterie of elegant Hampton friends who are usually gay. And so I just thought I would share a list of her rhetorical questions. It's so good. You have to watch the show every day, 4 to 5 p.m. And I have all 200 episodes saved on my DVR. Come on over. How bad could that be? How fun is that? How's that for easy? How good does that look? How good does this look? Who could turn that down? Isn't that great? Who wouldn't want that for their birthday? Who wouldn't want this for their birthday? Who wouldn't like that for breakfast? How's that for a fast sauce? Who wouldn't want that for dessert? Isn't that fantastic? Why make regular raspberry sauce when you can make triple raspberry sauce? Now, who wouldn't want that for their birthday? Now, who wouldn't want to marry you if you made them this? Who wouldn't want to eat that? How fast is that? Does that look good? We need a nice cocktail for breakfast, don't we? Yes, and you, girl. She makes cocktails all the time. I just want to hang out with her and drink all day. Oh, I love her. I love her. One day she tweeted at me and I like saved it. I look at it every day and I'm like, she tweeted at me. Fuck these books. So, I thought I might also tell you about Magic Mike XXL. Which was so good. It's just groundbreaking. So, Magic Mike XXL, believe it or not, is an actually good movie. It's thoroughly entertaining, charming, well-intentioned, big-hearted, and well-produced, acted and directed. I would give this movie all the Oscars and a few extras. Magic Mike XXL is, I am willing to argue, a feminist movie. Maybe a bad feminist movie. It caters at all times to the female gaze. It is queer-friendly. The movie embraces women of all sizes. The movie embraces consent and places an emphasis on women's sexual pleasure. I wish I had something really smart to say here, but the movie just felt feminist. The movie treated women like we are sentient beings rather than sexual objects, and the movie boldly celebrated women's sexuality. The men were simply there to serve and satisfy, as they should be. When the movie opens, the most husband, Channing Tatum, aka Magic Mike Lane, is following his dream of building furniture and stuff. Oh, he dared to dream. He even has a truck with his name on it and one employee. We all start somewhere. Some things happen that don't matter because everyone is fully clothed. And then Mike gets a phone call from the old gang. It's been 3 years since they were all together. Now Dallas, who was greasy Matthew McConaughey in the first movie, and the kid who was that Alex Pettyfer guy who everyone hates in Hollywood, they've gone off on their own to make a go of male entertaining in the Cayman Islands. Oh no, Macau. Anyway, they tell Mike that Dallas is gone, and so he assumes gone means dead because he's very smart. And he shows up to a wake at a hotel wearing a suit and looking very good, only to discover that it's just a pool party. The gang is going to have one last hurrah before they strip their way into the sunset. So, yes, road trip to Myrtle Beach and the stripper convention. This is a road trip movie. Magic Mike wishes the gang well, and he goes home where, alas, he is all alone. Oh, how I would comfort him. He's in his workshop making furniture when suddenly Magic Mike cannot contain himself any longer. He has to dance, okay? Everything. We hear the first erotic notes of Genuine's Pony, which just happens to come on the radio as Magic Mike holds a long metal thing against the grinder. It's all very subtle. Magic Mike begins to grind this long metal thing, and before long he is dancing like the beautiful dancer he was born to be. He gyrates and does gymnastics around the workshop. Yes, he simulates sexual intercourse with several objects and surfaces. Magic Mike puts his back into it, is what I'm saying. He breaks a delicious sweat. I felt every thrust, and I felt those thrusts everywhere. So boring things then happen, and the male entertainers head out on the open road. They travel in a food truck that is the future business of Tobias and Tito. These fellas are going to make artisanal frozen yogurt. And also DJ out of the truck. It makes sense if you watch the movie. You cannot judge, we all have dreams. Big Dick Ritchie, that's Joe Manganiello with his perfect body, throws Mike's phone out of the window as they hurtle down the road so that there won't be any distractions. Blah, blah, blah. Things happen that don't involve stripping. They stop at Mad Mary's, which is a drag bar, and there's a drag show going on, and then there is a Vogue off. And the guys get in on the fun because, goddammit, if they're going to have a last hurrah, they are going to have a last hurrah. The guys take some Molly, the drug, and then, bless his heart, Magic Mike has an idea. He's like, guys, let's make up some new routines and stuff. He is so earnest that I wanted to hug every part of him with my mouth. Magic Mike gives Big Dick Ritchie, and here's a little bit of a sidebar, Big Dick Ritchie has such a big dick, if he can't find a woman who can accommodate him, I volunteer. And so Magic Mike gives Big Dick Ritchie a little inspirational speech, and they stop at a convenience store. Big Dick Ritchie decides that he's going to make a disinterested lady clerk smile, and so he starts dancing to the Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way, and he allows himself to really feel the music. And he is just doing his damn thing. There is a great ejaculatory moment involving a water bottle, and he's wearing gray sweatpants. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The gang gets back on the road after that little detour. Somewhere along the way, we learn that Magic Mike proposed to Brooke. I think that's her name, it doesn't matter. She turned him down. Honestly, this was actually the most impossible part of the movie. It's like, girl, what? Get your life right. The men have a prayer moment that goes awry when the truck crashes into a tree. Oh no! Tobias ends up with a concussion, and the food truck is going to need a few days to be repaired. They have no MC and no transportation. What are they going to do? Now the movie goes from very good to absolutely amazing. Magic Mike conveniently knows someone in Savannah who might be able to help. Of course he does. He's Magic Mike. They head to a mansion with a neon sign, Domina, over the entrance, as well as 2 imposing security guards just hanging out. Inside, we see pretty people, and Magic Mike is taken upstairs where he comes face to face with Rome, aka Jada Pinkett, or Black No Crack, who is, we learned, a former lover. He also used to work with her before he ran off to Tampa to dance with Greasy Dallas. There's some history between them, but whatever. I mostly only paid attention when they turned each other down. I just had no interest in the plot. Magic Mike asks Rome to MC for them at the convention, and she gets huffy because she's like moved on with her life. It turns out at Domina, women pay a monthly fee and they get to watch men strip in various rooms. It's mostly black women, yes, and women of all sizes, and incredibly hot black men just taking off their clothes. As Rome MCs various male entertainers perform these vignettes, she refers to women as queens and focuses on actual women's wants and desires. Quite frankly, every man in America should go watch this movie and take notes. So I took some notes from my own romantic situation. 1, locate some abdominal muscles or draw them on my torso. 2, invest in baby oil. 3, practice hip thrusting and body rolling. 4, practice dancing in time to sexy R&B. 5, practice carrying a lady around a room while engaging in number 3. 6, learn how to massage with hands and other parts. 7, work on endurance. 8, costumes, doctor perhaps. 9, simulating various sexual acts always goes over very well. And 10, don't sweat, perspire. You may wonder if there's any male frontal nudity in this movie. There is not, and I didn't mind at all. I'm a fan of the D, but I don't need to see all that business flopping around on the movie screen. And let's be real, how often are we actually looking at the D when we interact with it? The next 20 minutes or so involve amazing dance sequences set to amazing sexy music. One guy drizzles himself in baby oil. Donald Glover is in this movie. Rome throws down a gauntlet, inviting Mike, aka White Chocolate, to dance, and dance he does. It was straight up sexy as hell, and I wish I could adequately describe this scene, but just imagine Mike with his beautiful body rolling and popping and locking and flexing and humping, and there's also a lot of simulating oral sex. In this scene and others, he also twirled women around, held them upside down as he gyrated, got a little threesome grind action going, did a handstand and thrust his pelvis, and basically he defied gravity while being absolutely sexy. It was all very spectacular. At this point, my vagina fluttered away from me.